Out here in Banner Forest, hitting up some trails. Woo! A little sketchy. Let's see about going up this hill. Oh, we got this. Well, I think we do. Woo! That's a good one. We're out here on the fire road now. So I've taken 2 cruises out here already. I wanted to get a feel for it before I brought my camera out here. So I've put about 6 miles on trails out here. And it definitely has made me a better rider, that is for sure. This is also the first time that I've got the rubberized coating sprayed in the fender. So this is sprayed with multiple coats of liquid seal. This is to reduce noise. If you have ridden a Onewheel with a standard Onewheel cover on it and you ride on trails in particular, or even the road where it's rocks, the rocks get up in the fender and clank around and make a bunch of noise. But it just made sense to me that if you coated the inside of the Onewheel fender with something like Flex Seal, it would allow you to reduce the noise as the rocks roll through the fender. And it is a lot quieter. It's sort of astonishing how quiet it is in comparison to a off-the-shelf Onewheel fender from Onewheel, or Future Motion, I should say. So I took their fender and I coated it with the rubberized coating, and I actually only let it dry for about 3 hours. Granted, it's 85 degrees outside, but I let it dry for about 3 hours and I bolted it on, and the difference is night and day. As far as the noise, the rocks rolling through the fender, I was hoping it was going to work, but I was very pleasantly surprised at how well it's working. So you guys can probably see that these aren't super dirty, but they're kind of dirty. So you can see we've got quite a bit of junk. That's a really good example of how well this stuff works. Grip tape cleaner, order on Amazon, get your grip clip looking brand new. A bunch of the parts came to personalize this one. So we have a Onewheel fender, we have the new rail guards, which are from Float Life. So we got purple rail guards, the fender, which we've added a little decorative touch to, and a set of fangs to get installed on this board. You want to be really careful with these. You don't want to over tighten them because they're just threaded right into the aluminum rail, and having to repair that would be a bugger. And it has a wire attached to it, which you could unplug, but I don't find to be necessary if you're just kind of careful and don't put too much pressure on the wire. So you've got the computer module on this side, and these nutserts we have to go ahead and super glue because these are not the new style. I'm going to go ahead and actually tilt this board back on its tail to give me a little more down angle here. So when you're doing this, you want to get that crack filled up, but you don't want to get this super glue down in the threads too much. On the other one, I use CA glue, and it seems to be holding up well, but I figured I would try the super glue this time around and see how it did. So we've gone ahead and put the crazy glue on there. I'm going to use this plastic bag and see if it's dry yet, and it is not, so I'm going to smooth this out a little bit. While waiting on that to dry, we're going to go ahead and put the wheels together. So the wheels come with 4 bearings and 2 bushings. So we've got bearings and bushings. Basically, the bearings can go in either way. You just push them into one side. You drop the bushing in to the center, and you push the other bearing in on the other side. Just like that. With the bearing pushed into the one side, flip it over, drop your bushing in, and your bearing in on the other side. We're going to go ahead and put the foot plate down. Being careful to make sure we don't pinch the wire. Now that we got it flipped over, we got to put the fangs on. So the fangs come with this little piece of flat, looks like a gasket material. I believe that this is pressure sensitive adhesive. It's not really clear if that's what it is, but I assume that's what it is. So it's not very important, but it is important that that plate or that piece of plastic with goo on it goes over there, and then we install it squished down. All right, there's one. And 2. I'm gonna go get some Loctite for putting the wheels together. I'm gonna put the Loctite into the nut. The nut has a square hole in there, and that's just to keep it from rubbing across all the other components. So we've got the bolt, a washer, a bearing, a bushing, another bearing, and then another washer before it goes to the other side. Just flung the nut out. All right, there we go. So I'll be able to tighten this one up from this side. We need to go ahead and put on the rail guards so we can get the fender put on. We got some Float Life purple rail guards here. You just peel the back off. I've already wiped this down with alcohol, by the way. I've cleaned the rails with alcohol, and that's evaporated quite a while ago. It's really important that you get the hole centered over the bolt, especially if you're going to put a fender on, because you don't want the removal of the bolt to push guard up. So there's that one. That really changes the look of the board, which is good. That's what we're going for. So the last thing we have to do is put on the fender. I have used my, Cricut cutter to print out some vinyl stickers and put them on here. So we're gonna go ahead and put this one on here and just throw this baby right on here. There we go. So that's all the upgrades for this board I'm going to do right now. We've got the fangs, the new rail guards, the purple rail guards, fender with the pattern my daughter picked out. Go get her on and see how she does. Well, this is going to wrap this one up. Super fun getting out there on the trails. Definitely enjoyed the upgrades. If you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. Until next time, thanks for watching.